Ooh, hello. Oh, he missed it. What? He missed it again. There we go. There we go. Yes, sir. Another giant. Another giant. Look at that, y'all.
I can't believe what I just caught.
Yes! Ba-da-dum, ba-dum. I don't want to throw a Nico, but I'm going to get it out anyways. This needs a thunder cricket. This one needs exactly what's on it. Ribbit, ribbit. And you know what? Old buzzer baiter, because why not? Well, what's going on, folks? Welcome back to Tyler's Real Fishing. My goal on this channel is to help you guys become better anglers. And some of the ways that I do that is by just going fishing and having some dang fun. So the goal for today is to get on a bite that I honestly haven't gotten on in years. And that is a topwater frog around some of the stuff you see behind me called duckweed. Did you see that?
That was sick.
That was sick. The duckweed topwater frog bite, in my opinion, is some of the most fun you could possibly have out on the water. And so we've come all the way up to Wisconsin, not just to film this video, but we're here, so I might as well go to somewhere that someone told me, a little birdie filled me in, this may have an insane frog bite. But you know what? Frog might not work, so I've got a buzz bait, I've got a vibrating jig I'm gonna fish kind of off the edge of the grass, and I've also got a punch rig in case the sun has him a little bit deeper. Let's go. Pop, 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 pop. Sploosh. This mat looks good right here. Come on, fishies. Where are ya, huh? Ooh, that was a bite. How about I give you a follow-up? Back to it. Oh, goodness gracious, that was fun. That was fun. Get in here, get in here. Not a big one, but a lot of fun. Just like a 1 pounder to start, but look at the frame on that fish. My goodness, that's a northern strain if I've ever seen one. He's got the pad perch roof of the mouth. So that's the bite that I'm going after. I'm coming here for. And you know what? It's not a giant, but it is a fun way to start. Got to get an Instagram story, and I'll tell you a few things I learned about that catch. Thank you, little girl. So this type of bite is special for multiple reasons. Number one, it's topwater fishing. Who doesn't love that? But it takes a little bit more nuance to know about how to do this type of topwater fishing. So that's what I'm going to teach you today. Now, this grass we have, these weeds we have, is called duckweed. And I'm going to get a little bit closer to show you guys what's actually going on underneath this duckweed that I know a lot of you guys have in your ponds and lakes, and how you can turn it from being frustrating into an amazing topwater day, hopefully. So you can tell duckweed is a very small floating type of green grass. Looks like that right there. And as you can tell, it forms big old mats. And as much as I would like the duckweed to just be covering the surface with nothing underneath, that's usually not how it goes. It's drifted and pushed by the wind and the waves over other aquatic vegetation. Now, duckweed can sit over vegetation. I talked about it in my grass fishing masterclass I recently released here on the channel. If you haven't watched that, pause this video. I will leave it linked down below. But this stuff can float over grass that's already totally choked out in the entire column of the water. And so it can be no good for fishing, whether punching, Texas rigs, finesse, or topwater. But here we have a very special scenario because the duckweed is floating over milfoil and eelgrass that is not totally choked out. So almost all of this area here is canopy, which means like a canopy over of trees over a road that you drive underneath. That's exactly what's happening to these fish on a lake like this. And you really don't know if your lake or pond has a canopy under the duckweed and the grass until you try to fish it. But today on this lake, I think we found it. Not gonna guarantee any giants, but let's catch another fish. And man, oh man, is this healthy grass. Matter of fact, I think it's coontail, not foil. But if you can find this looking grass right here, this green and healthy, that's somehow not choking out the entire water column, and duckweed on top, and it's any time from spring to summer to late fall, yeah, dynamite. Ooh, big wake right there. And that is the perfect cast. Come on. Hit it. Darn, darn, darn. Oh man, little line snafu there. Well, no idea how that happened. Well, now we are back. I'm not sure how my line broke in the spool, but it did. So luckily for We had another braid rod laying around. I don't think, honestly, I've changed the braid on that reel for like a year and a half. So wouldn't surprise me if there was a nick somewhere from all the heavy lifting that reel's been doing. But I got myself a black pad perch this time, again, because I'm trying to get these fish to come through the mat, find it, and eat it. And I also did 2 different modifications to help the frog sit on the mat a little bit deeper. And that is I added 2 tungsten Nico rig weights, just pushed them right in the hole that the water comes out of the frog. And then I cut the legs or the skirt a little bit on the frog just to make it a whole lot less possible for a fish to eat the skirt and not the body. And those are modifications I do not do if I'm just regular frog fishing around the edge of grass or fishing next to cattails. But if I'm fishing over big thick mats like this and I need the fish to find it, eat it, and take it back down, that's when I'm going to add a little bit of weight. And every frog is able to add weight in some way. The pad perch, it has that little hole that you guys saw in the back of it right there that you kind of squeeze to get the water out. That's where I poked the 2 Nico rig weights in. I've seen guys on a regular frog take out the skirt totally and put 2 jig rattles, 1 on each side. I think Jordan Lee did that when he won heavy hitters at Lake Toho a few years back. And doing this does make the frog a lot more sinky. It's not as good for open water, but I'm not really trying to catch them around open water. I don't think that's where they're gonna be today, especially with the high sun and the fact that it's summertime. Come on, something bite. I want to swing. Yeah, yeah. Come on, come on. Oh, I'm hearing bluegills pop. Come on, what's going on here? Goodness gracious, that was a fish. What were you? Please be a bass, don't be a northern. Yeah, I think he was a pike. We're gonna believe that. How shallow is that? Oh, it's way too shallow. Wasting my time. Oh. This just seems like the right stuff. A frog! No way! I'm not gonna lie, it's actually kind of rare that you see a frog in the same area you're throwing a frog. Normally I'd say it's a bluegill imitator, but hey, there's a frog here, which makes me hope it's deep enough for a bass to be at. Ooh, hello. Oh man, got him. Yes sir, yes sir, get in here. Oh my gosh, taking high stick my rod, don't care. That was crazy. Oh my gosh, that was nuts. That has to be one of the craziest topwater bites I've ever had. He weighs no more than 2 pounds. Now he may look smaller, guarantee he's close. Let me weigh him. Oh man, he got no batteries. Okay, I promise you he's close to 2 pounds, just a chunk of a fish. And the fact that he bit that close to the boat is nuts. And as close as I set the hook and boat flipped him and then high sticked, not surprised it broke. But holy canola oil, that was crazy. I was just thinking to myself, it's so weird that I haven't gotten a bite on this area yet, because as you can see from the drone shot, it goes from kind of a flat river area to then an outside bend. And so naturally the bank slopes up as the current swings around the outside, causing the grasses to grow just a lot closer to the bank. So you've got the eelgrass, the coontail, and the duckweed all closer, which makes the fish kind of more constricted as to where they can be. And oftentimes they like that outside edge as opposed to where the current doesn't flow on the inside. And I finally got one. We've got about 150 more yards of good stuff. I'm gonna get a new rod. Again, this is the first rod I've broken in, like, I kid you not, years of filming. But heavy cover kind of stuff does that to you. I'm gonna go with the new KVD Elite. It is not a heavy power rod, but honestly, you don't need a heavy power for this kind of frogging. The grass isn't like ultra thick. I'll tell you what though, that kind of bite rivals any other topwater bite for bass in my opinion. I mean, it even gets close to like the whopper plopper smallies and current. Now on more so cut banks like this where the grass does not stick out as far, I can afford to fish this frog over the mat a little bit slower. I'm pretty sure the bite that I just got was burning it almost like this, but because the frog's not in open water, it actually can't do any kind of walk the dog action. That's why I put weights in it to get it further down in the mat, kind of sinking down in there. And so oftentimes on an area like this, I'll just reel it straight back in, maybe occasionally giving it a pump like this, kind of making it hop like a frog does. The classic walk the dog rod twitch like this really doesn't do you any good in mats, and especially with fish missing it in this duckweed style stuff, the majority of the time on the first pass through, you just go ahead, find where they were, cast back up there. And I'm not saying it's gonna work like that every time, because it rarely does, but sometimes the second or third cast back, they will come back and eat it. And if they don't seem to want a topwater, I go back in there with a little punch rig. And I just love this style of frogging, because it's not like you're fishing a little open water section right here where I can kind of guess, all right, the bite's probably gonna come right here where it gets in the open. And now that I'm over the mat or over the huge expanse of lily pads, whatever, this type of frogging is totally a mystery when the bite is gonna come, which makes it ultra fun. Ooh, yep. I just saw a little pop right there, and I heard which is the noise of a bluegill smacking something off the surface, a bug, a minnow. Being present, you know, looking around, being aware when you're doing this kind of fishing is so critical. That's why I caught, honestly, both of the fish that I have today, but especially the first one. I'm reeling it in like this, and I see a tiny wake behind it. But if I was just looking just off to the side, even in my peripheral, I may not have seen that fish. And so I made 2 more casts to that area, and on the third, the fish bit. So especially if they don't like wake fast to get out of there, there's probably still a fish in the area, and you just gotta be paying attention to see that kind of stuff. I'm not gonna lie, I really thought I would get more bites on the swim. Oh gosh, I thought the frog was gone. No, no, no. There we go. Come on, please come back. Please come back and eat it. I'm just gonna go ahead and go straight to the punch rig. Oh, what a bad flip time. Man. Oh, and it's definitely already shallower right here. I mean, just in like a 25, 40 yard stretch, it's gotten considerably shallower. I love the feel of that cut bank. But yet another bite close to the edge. So as I work my way up this mat right here, I'm really just gonna focus on about 7 feet and in. And the second I get out of the mat, reeling it in to make another cast, because I haven't gotten a single bite out in the open water. Oh, he missed it. What? He missed it again. Oh, he missed it again, yeah. No way. That was crazy. That was like a 2.5 pounder. That was a nicer fish. All right, I like the vibe I'm getting from this area. I'm getting a lot more bites in a lot smaller area. There we go. There we go. Yes, sir. What a chunk. What an absolute chunk. Get in the boat. Yes, sir. Did not high stick that one, but it's a beauty. I mean, pushing 3 pounds, weighted pad perch in the roof of the mouth. Just a gorgeous Wisconsin largemouth. My goodness. That's fun. And I'll let you go right where you ate, which is on the edge. Makes sense. You know, everything I try to teach you guys in bass fishing is about patterning. So on your body of water, you may not have duckweed. You may not have any current. You may not have hardly any of the same conditions I'm faced with today, but you do have your conditions, so you can take note of those, write them down, figure out, okay, this fish came on this location, this depth, where can I find more stuff like that around where I'm fishing? And I think the best anglers make a pattern quicker than the rest. So I'm gonna keep fishing up the river, and anytime I see the bank swing to the outside, I'm gonna fish the edge of that line. Oh, I love that bite, come on. And if you ever wanna fool somebody in practice, like you got a bunch of bites in an area of duckweed, bite, bite, bite. Dang, look at that, he caught 3 fish right there. I fished like 3 cut banks, no bites. Get off my scopes. Goodness, I got one, I got one. What do we got here? Largemouth, get in here. I thought it was a pike with the kind of swirling he was doing, but just a little guy. Got the pad perch. All right, well, we stinking moved down lake out of the river. Into, I mean, this still kind of looks like river, but it's technically the main lake. And we got one right away, within 5 minutes. My goodness, he was hooked well. Thank you, buddy. Are there more around? That's the question. But man, why can I not find a fish with other fish? Like all these are onesie twosies, and that's not how this bite normally is. Normally it's like once you find them, you catch 5 or 6 without moving your boat. I just don't think this lake is really that good. Like, the population of bass ain't that high. If I haven't caught a pike yet, I don't think the game fish population is that big. Well, you know what they say, water under the bridge is what we're fishing. Seems like a nice place to catch one more bass. There we go. There we go. Yes, sir. Gosh, one of the biggest of the day. One of the biggest bass of the day. Just casting the Nico up against the pillar that has a lot more current to it. Goodness, what a chunk. Gotta spot lock us. Maybe there's more here. And I apologize for the lighting back there, but gosh. Okay, not the biggest of the day, but I would say the healthiest. All right, lighting's not that bad. Look at that fish right there. Just a chunker northern strain. Goodness. I definitely have not gotten enough selfies lately of all my fish that I'm catching, so let me update the gram. Thank you, my friend. I did lose my Nico though, so I gotta rig me up a new one. I can't lie, I was not actually expecting to catch one here. It just looked high percentage enough to want to stop. But I've seen the book, and that's all she wrote. Well, you know what? Today was not easy. It was a little bit of a grind, but it was still a heck of a lot of fun. I figured out some stuff. I learned some things about how to fish frogs over that kind of grass that really I don't have much access to. So the fact that I got to do it today, if I never do it again, any of my other northern trips this year, at least I got my fill, but I'd like to. As always, the exact tackle I used is linked down in the video description, including the custom light rod that I broke. I have loved that rod. I just think I beat it up too much and I high sticked it. Not good for the rod. I will have it linked below, and the KVD Elite that I caught a few fish on once that releases. The Tournament Pro, my absolute Topwater workhorse, and 50-pound Seaguar Tactics braid, as well as the frogs and the soft plastics and the Nico setup, because it feels like I throw that every time now. And if this video piqued your interest on how to fish topwater frogs, I will leave 2 of my favorite frog tip videos going over different aspects of fishing a frog over here in the corners, and they touch totally different aspects of the frog than I fished today. My name's Tyler. As always, it's a dang pleasure. I'm gonna get out of the sun, grab myself a cold water, and we'll see y'all next time right here on TRF.